for the Public Relations and Communications Committee. And let me introduce the head table before we get on into the program. And also to all the people who are following us on the live, on Mikey Live, also on GIS, and the St. Mark's Organization for Development Facebook page. We say thank you so much. Please share the live so that others can be a part of this launch of activities. It is a significant year for us, as it is 35 years of St. Mark Festival. So who's on the head table? So to my right, we have the president, Mr. Royden B. Harry. We also have the Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Cultural Foundation. That's Mr. Livingston Nelson. Sitting in the middle of the two men, we have Mr. Ronnie Lewis. He's the chairperson for the Sports and Culture Standing Committee with responsibility for culture. On my left, we have Ms. Keita Pear, who is responsible for organizing and chairing the gospel show that will be a part of the activities. We have Mr. Shad Noel. Shad is our deputy chairperson with responsibility for sports, culture, that standing committee. And then we also have Mr. Twain Straker. Twain is our deputy chairperson, also fundraising and logistics standing committee. We will also be joined by our committee members and chairpersons in the diaspora. So we will be joined by Mrs. Akima Paul Lambert, who will be sharing from the Resource and Mobilization Committee. So today we will be seeing a comprehensive view of what this new committee encompasses, who it composed of, and we will see that there's a mix. It's not just locals, but there are also people who are living in the diaspora from the parish who are serving this time around. So before we do anything, I would like to invite Ms. Danielle Julian, who is another of our deputy chairpersons of the Public Relations and Communications Committee, to welcome everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Crosby. Good evening to our distinguished guests, representatives from governments and partner agencies, members of the media, community leaders, sponsors, stakeholders, residents of St. Mark, and friends joining us from near and far. To those joining us via our social media platforms, we extend a warm welcome. On behalf of the St. Mark's Organization for Development, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to warmly welcome you to the official media launch of our 35th anniversary celebrations. This evening marks the beginning of a very special milestone in the life of our organization and our parish. For 35 years, SMOD has stood as a pillar of community development, unity, cultural preservation, youth empowerment, and social advancement within St. Mark. This anniversary is not simply about looking back at our journey, but also about celebrating the people, partnerships, and shared vision that has shaped this organization into what it is today. We are especially grateful to our past and present leaders, volunteers, community partners, and supporters who have contributed selflessly over the years to strengthen our parish and uplift our people. Your dedication continues to inspire the work that we do. This evening, we gather not only to celebrate a legacy, but also to officially unveil an exciting calendar of activities designed to engage every village, every generation, and every sector of our community. This 35th anniversary promises to be a celebration of sports, culture, community, spirit, and development, all reflecting the pride and resilience of St. Mark. We are truly honored by your presence here this evening. Your support demonstrates the importance of SMOD's work and the strong partnerships that continue to drive meaningful progress within our parish. As we proceed with this evening's program, We encourage everyone to listen, engage, and share in the excitement as we present the vision and activities that will define the historic celebration. We warmly welcome you to Sunset City, the proud home of traditional mass, rich culture, and vibrant community spirit. We invite you to feel at home among us, to share in the energy and excitement of this celebration, and to join us as we showcase this significant 35th anniversary milestone for St. Mark. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Julian. So with such a welcome, I think it's time that we get on into the program for the evening. Everything that the St. Mark's Organization for Development do, we are guided by the constitution that is led by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. So this is just a part of everything else that happens in every parish in Grenada. And we know that head of the GCF is Mr. Livingston Nelson, and we want to invite him to share some remarks at this very special launch for us here in St. Mark. Mr. Nelson?
Ms. Cosby, members of SMOD, but in particular Mr. Ryden Bihari and his team. I'm particularly pleased to be here representing the Cultural Foundation. And before going to the meat of what I am here to say, around the table I'm seeing so much able and talented persons, and I'm hearing other names of members of SMOD that definitely I believe can contribute to what is happening in the parish. Now, I know it's always a challenge. Volunteerism is not easy these days. And so seeing members of the head table and other names associated with that, I think we welcome that innovation. We welcome maybe the new trust in energy brought on by the new executive. So I want to commend you from the beginning. Now, the Grenada Cultural Foundation is charged with the responsibility to work with all the parish-based organizations. And so it's a very opportune time for me to come here at this launch because it signifies one, early planning, it signifies intention, it signifies focus. And what we at the Grenada Cultural Foundation endeavors to do is to ensure that we guide SMOD, one in terms of the accession to subvention, but also we want to ensure that they have a strong cultural program because that is what the Grenada Cultural Foundation is all about. For us, the parish-based organization is the medium organization responsible for distilling, ensuring that culture reach the people on the ground. And so I commend them, and we are pledging all our support, working along SMOD and hoping that they would bring what is necessary to the community. There is one statement I've heard Ms. Crosby made that I want to echo, and which I think is really, really pertinent. They are going to they are going to touch the elders, the young, and all the villages. And I believe just that mission statement is enough, at least at the beginning, to applaud you on your road to a successful 35 years, but 2026 St. Mark Fiesta. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Yes, it is going to be an all-inclusive group of events, and we will be covering everyone. For St. Mark, as Daniel would have said, we are the cultural parish, to the home of traditional mass. But more than that, we know that we are sports. We are also fishing. We have the elderly. We are education. We are so much more. And this year, we will be highlighting all the great things about our beautiful parish. So it's time now for the announcement. And I want to invite our president, Mr. Royden Bihari, to announce the activities for this year's 35th anniversary celebrations. Mr. Bihari?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, I must say. To the members of the head table, to the members that are viewing on all of the social media platforms, to our members in the United States, Canada, London, we want to commend each of you for sharing your homes with us this evening. As promised by our organization at the beginning of this journey, we intended to make St. Mark's Festival 2026 one to remember, providing you with the best experience that our new team of persons, coupled with some that have been serving for a number of years, that we salute. And at this time, we want to take the opportunity to share with you some of the excitement that you will be indulged in to celebrate our 35th anniversary of St. Mark Festival 2026. On Sunday, March 28th, we will commence with a relay meet in partnership with our very own track club, and that will be taking place at the Alston George Park. On March 29th, we will be heading down south to Maran. We will be partnering with the Maran Community Organization to bring to you our Oil Down Fest and Old Talk. It's an opportunity to mingle, to network, to get to know the people in the community, and to forge profitable, long-lasting relationships. On April 12th, we get ready for something that is very, very unique to the people of St. Mark. It's our village athletics meet, and this year is no exception. We are heading back to the Alston George Park from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to ensure that we can bring our communities together to compete and walk away with attractive prizes. On April 17th, we are not leaving out the educational side of our aim and objectives, and for that reason, we are hosting our school's spelling competition and history symposium, because it is so important in whatever we do while we focus on culture and we focus on sports, that our young people get an opportunity to be educated in the process. On April 17th, we get ready to head to the community of Nonpareil, and we're going to be having a night of carry your own key. So we will be carrying our own key. It will be an amazing night to see folks like Oslin and Twin Straker and others carrying their own key on a night like this. And you can definitely feel free to join us in Nonpareil for a night that will be very, very excited. On April 18th, we get ready for what we call our Kids Fun Day. It will be an entire day dedicated to the children of our parish, and they can expect all of the rides and fun-filled engagement. So be it our bouncing castles, our face painters, our go-karts, our horseback riding, and the list can go on and on. You can get ready for a treat for our children in the parish. On April 19th, we get ready for St. Mark Unity Road Race, and this will commence at the Samaritan Junction and end at the Alston George Park. So if you're listening us in your homes, in your vehicles, you should be preparing yourself to register to be part of the St. Mark Unity Road Race. And this, years ago, has been one of our spectacles, and this year will be no exception. Also on the 19th, we get ready for a special visit to our Silver Jubilee citizens. We will be heading to the Charles Memorial Home in Diamond, where we will be spending some of our time with our senior citizens, and we also will take the opportunity to make some special presentation to those who have paved the way for many of us who sit within this room and many of us who live within the parish. And then we get ready for what we call our official festival opening and our elevation of praise gospel experience. So we will start in the morning with the road race on the 19th, and that will actually start from 8 a.m. Then from 10 o'clock, we get ready to visit the Charles Memorial Home. Then we have a nice opportunity for you to relax, get something to eat, and you're going to join us back at Heroes Square for the official festival opening and elevation of praise. And the person that will be spearheading our gospel explosion under the banner Elevation of Praise will speak more to this event. On April 28th through the 24th, we get ready to feature our sporting discipline. So we will be taking you on a ride over to Namparel, where we will be hosting the cricket knockout competition. Then we will be indulging you in the heart of Sunset City with our basketball, volleyball, and netball tournaments. So each of these will be featured on a different night. On the 24th, which is the last day of this period of sporting activities within the calendar of activities, we'll take you on a journey, what we call our football clash. So this is where all of our community teams, including teams from St. Patrick, St. John's, will also be given an opportunity to be part of this activity on the 24th of April. And this will be taking place at the Allston George Park. On Saturday, April 25th, we are very concerned about our health and well-being. And this year, we will be partnering with the Ministry of Wellness, and we will be bringing you our SMOD Wellness Day. And this will be taking place at the Union Medical Center, as well as the Samaritan Presbyterian Schoolyard. So both areas will be used for our mega SMOD Wellness Day. So for the persons who are listening, it is an opportunity where you will be provided with a variety of health services free of cost. All complements the team here at St. Mark's Organization for Development and the Ministry of Wellness. On April 25th also, we get ready from 10 o'clock in the morning for what is dubbed the Waltham 10 to 10. So if you've realized thus far, we have started in Maran, we have gone to Namparial, we have gone to Samaritan, and now we are in Waltham in St. Mark. So this will be an initiative that we are partnering with the community and the residents there, also with the fishermen, to put on a day where they will invite the people of Grenada to celebrate and enjoy the entire day with them. And that is why it is dubbed 10 to 10. So it begins from 10 in the morning and it will end at 10 in the night. On Saturday, April 25th also, which is the evening. So we have started with our Wellness Day in Union. Then we moved to Waltham for Waltham Engagement Day. And then from 6 o'clock in the evening, we are then going to be getting ready for SMOD Honor and Excellence 35th Anniversary Gala and Awards Ceremony. And this will be taking place at the Bonaire Government School. So in a matter of days, the residents will also get the opportunity to provide your nominations with justifications, and these nominations and recommendations will go to a special committee that comprises of a variety of parishioners who will then take the opportunity to look at all of the justifications and select those that are deserving to be recognized. also on that day is an opportunity for us to place the spotlight on the many persons who have led this organization with distinction, volunteering their service selflessly. And to many, there are a number of persons that go unnoticed, the contributions that persons don't put the spotlight on. And we believe as an organization that charity begins at home. And on that night, we also will take the opportunity to award and recognize the various past presidents of the St. Mark's Organization for Development for the time and the sterling contributions that they have made, not just to the organization, but the leadership in the parish. So that is a very special occasion for the entire parish of St. Mark. On April 26, we get ready for Reservoir Jam. This year, we will be hosting our annual Reservoir Jam event. And compared to other years, I can assure you it will be an event with a zero tolerance for any form of violence activities. We want to make it abundantly clear that it is an event that we expect Grenada to turn out, we expect the diaspora to turn out, but we also want to take this opportunity to remind all of the attendees that there will be a zero tolerance for any act of violence. So we are imploring upon everyone to work with the good behavior on that day. So once we complete with Reservoir Jam, and that will actually take place from 5 a.m. all the way up to midday, and from midday, we get ready for what we call Sunset the Brunch Party. So you get an opportunity to deck off, put on your heels, ladies, put on your lipstick, your nice hairstyles. If you have to think about ordering your lovely outfit, now is an opportune time to think about it. The guys, you got to roll out, you got to be dripping, because Sunset the Brunch Party will definitely be a staple event, a signature event that you can look forward to. And the team from the fundraising standing committee will definitely speak more about it. But I want to say to you that this activity will take place at the Victoria Hard Court, and we do not expect to oversell the event. So if you are sitting and you're listening and you're in my case, I would say to you, continue to view our smart Facebook page every day for the day when we launch that flyer in the coming days. And it will also indicate the ticket outlets so you can purchase your ticket. It's not nice for you to know that brunch of this magnitude will be taking place in the parish when everybody is decking off and we cannot sell and one additional ticket for you. So we want to sound the alarm while it is very early, to put aside your monies so that you can actually join us for Sunset the Brunch Party. This will be an epic experience. So this is just a warning. Then we get ready on April 27th. We get ready for our dance-a-size and glow walk. And this will be a night of remembrance. So we will start our glow walk from the Samaritan Junction or Union. And we will be walking all the way to Victoria. When we are entering Victoria, we head up to Fairfield Road, onto Hero Square, down Diamond Street, and onto the slipway area where we will be having the release of our special lanterns. So in the coming days, the public will get the opportunity to start purchasing their lanterns. The lanterns will provide you with an opportunity to write your message to your loved one. And on that special night, you get the opportunity as a community to release our lanterns out in the open. It's going to go all the way in the air with your message for your loved ones that would have passed away. So this is a very special moment also for us. On April 28th, we get ready for our Community Connects, and this will be our games night. and it will be taking place at the Alston George Park in Victoria. It's an opportunity where we want to encourage our community members, our residents, our visiting personnel to come on down with your board games, come on down with whatever traditional games that you may have, and be part of a night to connect with the residents of St. Mark. This is very important to us because as a community, we value taking the opportunity to network and connect with one another within the parish of St. Mark's. On the 29th, we get ready for karaoke night, and on karaoke night, we are partnering with our good friends at Nolly's Bar in Resource in St. Mark, where you get the opportunity to be joined by Penny and the karaoke team to enjoy a night of karaoke and socializing. So we are getting ready for a treat. And then we get ready to take a little rest on Thursday, April 30th. Now this is month end, and we expect you to make this a very big deal in 2026. It will be our bonfire night, as we call it, in your yard. So if you know you're accustomed sitting in your yard on a bucket, walk with your bucket to sit in your yard. If you normally will sit on an old pan, walk with your old pan to sit on the night. If it is a situation where you normally spread your blanket and sit in your yard like this, we want you to walk with your blanket. We want to make the night a night to remember. It will be a night with a difference because it will be a well-produced night. We will be having a variety of activities taking place on that night from our village porridge showdown. So if you're here and you're listening to us and you're very good at making your porridge, this is an opportunity for you to start thinking and studying your recipe so that you bring the best tasting porridge on the night to be judged. We also have our nutmeg cracking competition. So persons like Jennifer and others, it's a nice opportunity for you to prep yourself to start cracking your nutmeg on the night of bonfire. And then we get ready for a special segment of the night, which is Shine, our children's talent search. And this will begin as early as 6:30 in the day so that our children get the opportunity to be featured and to compete with their talents, and they too can walk away with some attractive prizes on the night. On that night also, we will be featuring our steel band and a number of cultural performances. It's an opportunity also for our locally produced promoters within the parish who will be taking part in our Monday night and Tuesday night carnival activities. On that night, you get the opportunity to see what the clothing line will be for carnival. And then on the night, we also want to focus on two other attractions. We will be having, for the very first time, our yard fall competition. So our yard fall competition is very simple. You get the opportunity to come to the bonfire with your yard fall in your bag. No one needs to know the size of your yard fall, right? That is why it is called in your yard. So on the night, we bring you an opportunity to walk with your yard fall. You get the opportunity stage side, on stage, to unveil your yard fall. And the biggest yard fall, the judges will be awarding you $500. So you walk with your yard fall on the night, and you can be going back home with $500 if your yard fall is the biggest. So if I am Miss Morris, I would hold my yard fall now, and I will continue to feed my yard fall so that on the night when I pull out my fine bag or my cocoa bag and my yard fall come out, it will be a beast yard fall, right? So I'm telling you, this will be a very attractive night. But it does not end there. We get ready for one of our highlights, which is going to be our DJ Clash. All our music from the persons that register for our DJ Clash. For that 20-minute segment, all of our DJs must play traditional music, right? And this is all going to be judged by a team of judges. And then our highlight of the night will be our Fan the Coal Pot Challenge. And it's simple. Fan the coal pot means fan your coal pot. You get the opportunity to walk with your coal pot, your coals, your pieces of wood to light your fire, and your kettle. You also will be given a piece of cardboard box. Each of the cardboard box will be same size, and this will be given to every one of the person competing in this competition. So what it means, for this competition, you will light your fire, right? Fan your fire to make sure that your coals is catching. Take your kettle, put it onto your coals, and the first person whose kettle starts to whistle gets the opportunity to walk away with $500 cash. So it's very exciting this year because we want our bonfire to be a night to remember. So if I am Shad, what I will do, I will start getting my coals now, my pieces of wood, my match, because remember you can't use any kerosene or gas or anything. It has to be traditional. Whether you take the fiber, whether you take the cardboard, whether you take the pieces of wood, the pieces of board, or you take coconut shell, you have to light your fire that way. And you get an opportunity to fan your coal pot to make your kettle whistle. Now this will be a challenge. And on that night, if only they make me vex, that prize money will go up to $1,000. So it is a competition for each of you to look forward to on the night of bonfire. In your yard this year will be a spectacle, and it will reflect in your yard. Right? So that is what it's going to be for our bonfire night. And then we get ready for May 1st, which is a holiday. And because it is a holiday, we are rolling out what we call May Day in the village. So we will get the opportunity to go up to Resource by the turning spot, the first turning spot, and the villagers in Resource will be packing their pots and putting their pot of uncooked food on Firestone to cook their food. And while that is being done, they will get the opportunity to teach our children and our young people and even some of our adults some of our traditional games that they may not know. So it is a very great evening for the people of Resource. And then we also will be featuring River Sally in St. Mark. We are partnering with the guys, the team at Boko Shop, where we will be having an amazing evening also of street vibe and engagements. So we're going to be in Resource, we're going to be in River Sally, and then we also will be in Samaritan in St. Mark. That it will be up north. So if you have realized, if you have been following me thus far, you have realized that almost every community is getting something as part of this year's festival. And if there are any that are not included for this year, I can guarantee you in 2027, you can look forward to an amazing calendar, including those that are not included this year in 2026. And while that is taking place, the executive body and the membership of SMART, our St. Mark's Organization for Development, will be rolling out 35 for 35. And what does that entail? It means that in 2026, we are celebrating our 35th anniversary, and as a result of that, we will be looking for 35 needy persons within the parish of St. Mark. Persons that we believe is worthy to receive a lovely hamper from the organization, and we will be treating 35 persons from Maran in the south all the way to Redmond in the north. So if you are listening to us and you may also know someone in your community that you believe can be a recipient of one of our lovely hamper, it's not a situation where you're just going to make a phone call and that person is qualified. There will be a team that will analyze the background, analyze the situations of these persons, and the team will decide the 35 persons that will be awarded or provided with that hamper on that day. And then we get ready on May 2nd, which will be our invitational football match. We will be having 4 special invitational teams on that day from as early as 5 o'clock. And at the end of that invitational football match, we get ready for our mega food fest, flea market, and farmers market. So on that night, our food fest will not just be a standalone event. We will be upping the cultural package. We are including our farmers. So when you come to Food Fest as part of this celebration, don't go and say, oh, well, I don't know where I'm going to get my produce and so forth. On that night, you can get it at Food Fest. And also on that night, you get the opportunity to get some of your items within the flea market segment. We also will be inviting a number of businesses who will be providing items at discounted prices on the night of Food Fest come May 2nd, 2026. And then we get ready to close off on May 3rd, which is the last day. So on the last day of St. Mark's Festival 2026 will be an amazing night, amazing day. So from as early as 12 noon up till 12 midnight, you will be indulged with our expo. You will be indulged with 6 DJs on our streets of Victoria so that our people can get an opportunity to socialize, network, lime where you want to lime, and our visitors can get an opportunity to come to the parish of St. Mark. You also get the opportunity to be wowed with a special selection of fireworks, exhibition, clothing, wine, drinks, craft, confectionaries, and the list goes on. The entire parish of St. Mark's, you are invited to share with us contacts of persons whom you believe can be featured, can come and show off what they are producing within the parish. We also will have aspect of our prize giving on that night, and you can get ready at 7:30 for an amazing stage concert on the streets of Victoria. Our very own artists from the parish, including we will be featuring Sakina and the Alpha One Band on that night, and we will be treated with a special guest artist also on that night, but you have to ensure that you follow our page to actually see when we release that giant of a monster on the night, when we will be revealing that to the general public. But also on that night, on that day, we get the opportunity to feature our fishermen in the parish. With our event, our fishermen can cook. So on that day, when you go down to the slipway, all our fishermen will be tasked with the responsibility to cook a pot, but it must include something from the sea. And we are doing that, we will be doing that this year in partnership with the Ministry of the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, so that we make that day a truly memorable and a special one for us to bring the curtains down. But what I can say to you in a nutshell, be prepared, take your vitamins as early as you can, because it will be a really, really, really important journey, and we do not want any one of you to be left behind from our calendar of activities to commemorate our 35th year anniversary. I think 35 is a big deal, and so too the organization believes, partnering with the relevant stakeholders to make 35. I thank you.
very much, Mr. Bihari. I think with that spread, we have an idea as to what to expect this year. And the invitation is extended to all of Grenada to come to St. Mark and have a good time. We always have a good time once we come to Victoria, but not just Victoria this time around. We are doing every village, community in St. Mark is going to be a true St. Mark festival. So, now to just expound a bit on some of the activities that Mr. Bihari shared, a very long list. We're going to start off with the gospel concert, that gospel explosion. So I want to invite Keita Pear to share more with us about that gospel event.
Good evening to everyone. And of course, I am tasked with the most important event, which is Elevation of Praise Gospel Concert. It will be, I must assure you that it will be a concert that will be exceptional. Because when you hear Elevation of Praise, it is a sacred moment dedicated to lifting our hearts and voices in worship, rededicating our parish to God, and inviting His presence, guidance, and blessings over all activities and celebrations to follow. This act of praise sets a spiritual foundation, reminding us that our community and the parish are anchored in faith and gratitude to God. The activity will take place at Hero Square on April 19th at 5 p.m. And the churches have been contacted already through email. And the idea is that instead of the services held in the different churches, we would gather at Hero Square on that day so that we can come together. Though we may belong to a different denomination, we can come together with that main purpose to give God thanks and the praise. So I can assure you that it will be a very meaningful and one that would be exceptional, as I said earlier. It would be a time when persons can actually feel God's presence. We would have dance, we would have songs, we would have steel pan renditions, and the list goes on. So I am inviting each and every one of you to be there, to experience God in a meaningful way. I thank you.
This year's celebration, I think just from listening to some of the people presenting and organizing, some of the heads behind these activities, we recognize that St. Mark has a lot more than just the people that we see often, but there are so many hidden talents here, right? So, Keita, thank you so much. I think with such a presentation, you are inviting all denominations and not just people from St. Mark, but those from the outside to come in to St. Mark and enjoy something that's different, but of course filled with that spiritual upliftment on that day. So we are inviting all. If you come to St. Mark, we have spoken of tradition, but St. Mark is nothing without sports. I would always be a very huge supporter of Hurricane because we are Hurricane. We are Hurricane. And no other person but I want to invite now Shad Noel, who is the Deputy Chair with responsibility for sports and culture, the Sports and Culture Standing Committee, to speak more about some of the sporting activities that Mr. Bihari shared that will form the activities of this year's festival.
Our host, Rosalind Crosby, members of the head table, those viewing online, and you present here with us tonight, I said, good night, one, good night all. So, why sports? And how can sports bring our communities, our families, and our youth together. Sports, and I hasten to say that sports is the ultimate social glue. Sports has always held that unique and powerful ability to bring people together and break barriers. Regardless of age, ethnic background, social status, sports can connect us all, whether it's on the field or off the field. So to answer the question tonight, we looked at 6 focal points. Sports have always, brethren, when we look at sports competition, at its core, sports is all about competing. At its core. Whether it's football, Hurricane playing in the past year, whether it's Sparklers playing basketball in Guave, whether it's cricket in St. David's, the passion, also the excitement that it generates, can be felt throughout every community. We looked at breaking down stereotypes. Sports has the power to challenge stereotypes and misconceptions that we normally hear in our communities. When persons of different backgrounds come together to play a sport or just to support their teams, they have that first-hand view of the skills, the dedication, the hard work the players put in to participate in those competitions. And they too develop within themselves a desire to participate. We also look at fostering inclusion. Sports create that safe space where persons from marginalized communities and even the well-to-do communities can come together and feel valued, feel a sense of belonging. Even persons with disabilities would find a home and a welcoming spot in terms of participating in our sporting activities. We look at community building. Local sports league and events can foster that community pride and a sense of identity, because persons come out to support their team, and when they do, we see connections being forged even beyond the sports. Then we look at, finally, the solidarity in times of adversity. During challenging times, sports can bring communities together. The success of your team, like Hurricane, members, communities, villages, feel a sense of belonging. And we pool our resources again just because of the opportunity that sports extend to us. Then you may ask the question, how can our young people feel a sense of pride in participating in sports, and how does sports help them? I hasten to say again, when we look at life skills and character development, when they participate, those aspects of teamwork, time management, and discipline is being expounded. How about mental and physical health? Sports improve the physical fitness and reduce the risk of injuries, anxieties, and all those things. Then we look at confidence and leadership. Overcoming challenges and achieving goals in sports boosts self-esteem, and this is what our committee is trying to build in our young people's lives. Then we look at social inclusion and cohesiveness, or cohesions. Sports bring about diverse individuals together, encouraging them to interact, to communicate, to develop the ability to put aside the differences and work together in order to bring success. Then we look at the academic aspect of it. The regular physical activity is linked to better classroom behaviors, and it improves on grades. I am a testimony of that also. Then we want to look at some of the activities that Royden already spoke about. So, on March 28th, we have Momentum and Smart Relay Meet. This starts at 4 p.m. Neighboring schools and clubs will be invited. April 12th, St. Mark's Village Athletics. It starts at 1 p.m. Athletes from the different villages in St. Mark's will be placed in 3 different houses. We have Richard's house, Bonaparte's house, and McQueen and Bartholomew's house. April 19th, St. Mark's Unity Road Race, and this starts at 8 p.m. Attractive prizes to be won by the different age groups. So the youngest boy and girl who finishes the race, the oldest male or female that finishes the race, there is attractive prizes. Then we have the preliminary matches that will be held in different sports, in discipline like cricket, basketball, netball, volleyball. And this will be happening all in the month of June, but before the 20th. Dates will be confirmed in the upcoming week. The idea is to hold sporting activities in different villages so that the possibility of maximum participation can be guaranteed. The finals of the sporting event will be held between the period of April 28th to the 24th. So we imploring upon everyone within St. Mark's to come out and give your 100 in whatever sporting discipline, or our spectators come out and support your child, support your team, support the activity because it is us. Whatever is happening during the celebrations is us. And to make it a success, it is us. We cannot sit back and say one section of our community are the ones to take the reins of this. The success of any community depends on every member. And our committee is imploring upon you to come out and support. Give us your all. And we will surely put on a show for you that you will not forget. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noel. As you spoke there, you spoke about the sports. I think those of us who remember our youthful days in St. Mark when people like Pauline running in those sports and Matty and the others going on, those are the spectacle and the memories that we remember of that sport on a Sunday. Yeah, so I'm thinking that it's going to be that kind of event. Those of us who have those memories, we get to add, and the young ones, we get to have an opportunity to share those memories with. So get them involved. Yeah, it is a day of fun, but more so, sports gives us so much more. And I'm so happy that Shad would have shared some of the benefits of sports, how it can holistically develop an individual. St. Mark's is culture. Ressource is a very good example of that, yes? Our queen came from that parish, our first queen came from that parish, and we recently won the Independent Calypso, the Independent Song Competition, that is. So there will be no better person to present anything on culture than, of course, Mr. Ronnie Lewis, who is an embodiment of culture on what's happening for this year's festival.
To move for the tallest man. Okay, just a footnote, so that the public know that the Queen and the Calypso Monarch is both my nieces. Good evening to our distinguished guests, partners, community leaders, members of the media, residents of St. Mark, and all friends of our beautiful parish. It is truly an honor and a deeply humbling privilege to stand before you tonight as chairperson of the St. Mark and Culture Standing Committee of the St. Mark Organization for Development, as we officially launch the calendar of activities commemorating 35 years of service, impact, and community connection. 35 years is not just a number. It represents a generation of people who believed in St. Mark, people who gave their time, their talent, their sweat, and their love to build and strengthen this parish. Tonight we celebrate that journey. And more importantly, we celebrate the spirit of our people, resilient, creative, passionate, and proud. As we prepared this anniversary calendar, we made a deliberate decision that culture must sit at the heart of this celebration. Culture is the soul of St. Mark. It lives in our music, in our food, in our stories, in our traditions, and in the creative expression that defines who we are as a people. For 2026, we are proud to present cultural highlights and signature events that truly reflect the richness of our parish heritage. From our village porridge showdown celebrating traditional culinary excellence, to our bonfire in the yard highlighting fire, food, and folk culture, to our artists' performances, steel pan showcases, and children's talent search, we are creating platforms that celebrate both our seasoned cultural custodians and our emerging stars. We are especially excited about creating new and expanded opportunities for performers, artists, cultural groups, and creatives across St. Mark. This anniversary is not just about showcasing talent, it is about empowering talent. It is about giving our young people, our musicians, our dancers, our storytellers, our craft makers, and our cultural practitioners the stage they deserve. We understand that preserving our heritage is not simply about remembering the past. It is about protecting our identity and passing it on proudly to future generations. When we celebrate our traditional foods, when we showcase our folklore, when we promote our music and artistic expressions, we are telling our children and grandchildren that St. Mark has a story worth preserving and a legacy worth continuing. This year also introduces fresh and exciting cultural concepts designed to energize participation and strengthen community pride. Events like Community Connects, cultural exhibitions, and creative showcases are meant to bring our villages together, allowing every community to feel represented, involved, and celebrated. Our vision is simple. This 35th anniversary must belong to everyone. Tonight, I want to especially acknowledge the many cultural pioneers, community volunteers, and elders who have kept the flame of St. Mark traditions alive over the years. Because of your dedication, we are standing on a strong cultural foundation that we are proud to build upon. To our young creatives and cultural ambassadors, this anniversary is also your invitation. Step forward, share your talent, share your ideas, share your passion. The future of St. Mark belongs to you. As we officially launch this milestone celebration, let us remember that development is not only about infrastructure and economics. True development must nurture identity, preserve heritage, and strengthen community pride. Through sports and culture, we continue to unite our people, inspire our youth, and celebrate the very best of St. Mark. On the behalf of the Sports and Cultural Standing Committee, I extend sincere gratitude to our executive, partners, sponsors, volunteers, and every individual who has contributed to bringing this vision to life. Your support ensures that this 35th anniversary will not only be memorable, but meaningful. Let us celebrate with pride. Let us honor our heritage. Let us showcase our talent. And let us continue building a stronger and more united St. Mark. Thank you, and may God continue to bless our parish and its wonderful people.
Strengthen community heritage. My takeaway from that line there. Mr. Lewis, thank you so much. From it, I think we are getting a very good idea as to where all these activities came from, the background, the thinking, and of course the objective behind them all. With all the activities shared today, if we don't have the resources to be able to put them on, then we know it will be a challenge. I want to first invite our local rep for logistics and fundraising, who is Mr. Twain Straker, to present on from that committee's end as to the importance of people supporting the venture. Mr. Straker?
"35 years ago, a vision was planted, and tonight we seek to honor its roots, celebrate its growth, and commit ourselves to carrying St. Mark boldly into the future. Good evening to our distinguished guests, valued partners, members of the media, community leaders, volunteers, and the wonderful people of St. Mark. Tonight, I am deeply honored to stand before you in the capacity of Deputy Chairperson responsible for fundraising and logistics for this historic 35th anniversary celebration of the St. Mark's Organization for Development. This role allows me to collaborate with our chairperson, Ms. Oslin Crosby, residing in the U.S., and Ms. Sean St. Paul in Grenada. I stand here not only in an official role, but proudly as a son of the Grand Provence soil, a product of this parish, a believer in its people, and a strong advocate for the aspirations and the achievements of our Grenadian people, but also our St. Mark people. SMART at 35 represents dedication, sacrifice, vision, and an unwavering commitment to community upliftment. This milestone did not happen by chance. It was built through hard work, careful planning, strong partnerships, and the collective support of people who believe deeply in the development and future of St. Mark. As we officially present our calendar of events, we want to assure the public that significant work is already underway behind the scenes to ensure that every event is executed with excellence. From sporting competitions and cultural showcases to wellness initiatives, community events, and our signature celebration, our teams have been working tirelessly to coordinate venues, safety arrangements, scheduling, infrastructure, and operational support so that every experience is organized, seamless, and enjoyable. Logistics is often the silent engine that powers success. It involves countless hours of planning, collaboration with agencies, coordination with vendors, and detailed preparation. Our commitment is simple. When residents and visitors attend any SMART 35th anniversary activity, they must feel safe, welcome, and proud to be a part of something special. Equally important is our responsibility for fundraising, which remains critical to sustaining the programs and initiatives of SMART. This anniversary is not just about a celebration, it is about strengthening the organization's capacity to continue serving the people of St. Mark for many years to come, especially in youth development, community programs, cultural preservation, and social advancement. We take this opportunity to sincerely thank our sponsors, partners, and supporters who have already stepped forward to assist. We also encourage prospective sponsors and partners to join us. Your confidence in SMART is deeply appreciated, and your contributions are helping to transform vision into reality. However, anniversaries of this magnitude require more than committees and sponsors, but they require community ownership. So tonight we extend a heartfelt invitation to residents, community groups, businesses, and especially our volunteers to come forward and play your part. Whether through your time, skills, resources, or support, your involvement will help make this celebration truly representative of the spirit of St. Mark. Volunteers are the heartbeat of the community development. Your service strengthens events, builds relationships, and deepens pride and unity within our parish. Together, let us ensure that this 35th anniversary is not only successful, but truly noteworthy for generations to come. As a proud son of the parish, I am personally committed to seeing St. Mark continue to grow, thrive, and be recognized for its resilience, talents, and contributions to national development. The Fundraising and Logistics Committee remains fully committed to transparency, efficiency, accountability, and excellence in execution. And we pledge to work closely with all stakeholders to deliver a celebration worthy of the people and of SMOD's proud legacy. In closing, we remind you that this celebration is more than events on a calendar. It is a celebration of people, perseverance, and progress. A reminder that when communities work together, extraordinary things happen. This festival has always belonged to the people of St. Mark. This is our home, our work, and our shared responsibility, and together we will continue to shape and propel our community. We are proud to pass on to the next generation of St. Mark as St. Mark move forward. A special thank you to all who are working directly or indirectly as parts of the varying committees in this noble organization. Let us continue to collaborate with our President, Mr. Bihari, and elevate this organization forward. To my community folks, persons watching online, and members of the public, let us support, let us participate, let us volunteer, and let us proudly celebrate 35 years of growth, unity, and development in St. Mark. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Straker. I did say it's an inclusive committee that is not just local, so it's not just the domestic body, but we are also represented in the diaspora. So before I introduce our next presenter, I want to share our New York executive body. So we do have that arm. Chairing that body, we have Ms. Chanel Fletcher Patrick, who most would know as Nellie on Facebook or social media platforms. Our deputy chair is Ms. Shanice Holder. Recording secretary, Ms. Tahara Callian Roberts. The general secretary is Ms. Oslin Charles. The treasurer is Mr. Gary Welsh. Our assistant treasurer, Ms. Edlyn Charles. The public relations officer is Mr. Elwin Mark. Assistant PR, Mr. Tyrell Barry. And we have advisors with special responsibilities, Mrs. Charlene Wade Paul and Ms. Carissa Holder. That's our New York chapter. In England, we have our very proud daughter of the soil, Mrs. Akima Paul Lambert. Now, we say a special thank you, and I think that's part of the highlight of this year's celebration. It is not just the people who live here, but the people who were born here and still want to contribute to the continued growth and development of our parish. We are very proud of where we came from. We all know each other at first name level. So to everybody, you see us, yes, moving about, but to everybody here, we are all on first name levels. Is Oslin and is Twain, and who come from Victoria. That is who so it's Akima to all of us, and Charlene and Chanel and the others. But for that, we are grateful for the foundation that St. Mark has given to us. Because if it was not for her, then we might have been something else, and we are grateful. Our teachers, our coaches, our neighbors, that is who represent, and that is who we represent now. Though most of them would have passed on to the great beyond, we are very proud sons of that foundation. It is with distinct pleasure that I introduce our next presenter, our very proud daughter of the soil, as I said, Mrs. Akima Paul Lambert, who will be sharing as part of the Resource Mobilization Committee, all the way from London. She will be sharing with us virtually. Akima? So we seem to be having maybe just a technical glitch. While we wait on that presentation from our diaspora group, maybe what we can do still is introduce our president to continue sharing with his remarks, and when we do get her on, then we can take in that part of the presentation. So Mr. Bihari?
Okay, thank you so very much. And I want to start by recognizing my other members of the executive board who are here with us. We do have Miss Morris, who is one of our trustees as part of the executive board. I want to welcome her. I did also saw Richard. Richard is also another of our trustees as part of the executive body, and I really want to recognize them because the work of SMART is never about myself. It's always about the team of us who are collaborating to make St. Mark's Organization for Development what it truly is. I also want to apologize for the absence of Mr. Baptiste, who should have been with us tonight, but unfortunately, due to an emergency, he can't join us tonight, but he is following via our online platforms, and he do send his regard in this regard. But I want to take this opportunity during my remarks, especially to recognize the team in the diaspora. I know there was a team before, and I can guarantee you the team that is currently there now is doing an amazing job meeting to ensure to ensure that they are on board for this festival. So what we will do, we will take in Akima, and from Akima, then I will actually continue.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for your introduction. I apologize for my technical difficulties. I just want to say that I'm fully heartened by all of the extensive planning and the superb organization that has gone into this event today. And I am extremely excited, along with the chair who is listening, Charlene Wade-Paul, who is a tremendous force in the community, to present on behalf of the Resource Mobilization Committee. I think this is a testament to what we can do if we unite, if we put differences aside, if we really put our plow to the wheel, we can bring the St. Mark's celebrations back on the pedestal that it deserves, when it was the joy and the pride and the envy of all the other parishes in Grenada. And I warmly remember the days when, we all gathered at what is now Hero Square, and it was such a spectacle. And I think what our president has outlined means that we have an absolute treat in store for us. I'm going to start with a few small remarks, and I'm going to finish actually with a call for action, because action is what we need to get things going and to get things started in St. Mark. The first thing I wanted to say was that we know what the aims of St. Mark's, of SMART is. It's to turn commitment into action and ideas into impact. Every day, we have to work together to strengthen our communities. We cannot depend on others to do it. It is us. We are the ones we're waiting for to empower ourselves and to create lasting solutions to real challenges. And the important thing is that our vision, the impact doesn't happen with just vision. It just has to happen with partnership. And although there isn't a specific event tied to resource mobilization, this is where we come in. And it's not just about funding. Lots of people think it's about funding and money. It's about sharing the responsibility. It's about trust. It's about long-term collaboration. So today we wanted, as part of a committee, there are many others on the committee, too many to mention, we wanted to affirm our support for the organization and for the 2026 St. Mark's Day celebration. And we want to say a little bit about the resources that we'll be trying to mobilize to ensure a successful and impactful event. Because we want to ensure that this is just the start. Celebration is the start. It's about unity, it's about purpose, it's about lasting community impact. And we want to deliver a community service to you, starting with St. Mark's Day celebration that is truly meaningful. And I just wanted to say, walk this journey with us. You know, it's for us and it's by us. It's FUBU. Some of the ways we intend to help with resource mobilization, it includes the school spelling competition and the history symposium. The children are our future. We invite you to get involved. It can be donation of a prize. Those of you who are listening in the diaspora, it can be donation of a trophy. It can be a contribution to school supplies. It can also be by your physical presence, those of you who are in Grenada, by helping in the organization, standing up, putting your hand up to actually help on the day and before to put the event together. Another big day is the Kids Fun Day. We're also going to be looking for prizes there, but we're also looking for, people who are willing to come out and to help to make sure that the event runs smoothly, that our children are safeguarded, that they're safe. So please put your hands up. We'll be circulating a sheet where you can sign up electronically as well, via a wish list where you can contribute what you wish, but also where you can say, I would like to put my hand up to help my community. Sport, again, another big one for us. This is where we really intend to have some impact with cricket, the basketball, the volleyball, the netball. We'll be working with the sporting committee on things like prizes, but also organizationally. The Wellness Day, the resource we need is not just, prizes, etc. We need our health professionals who are here and abroad to come out and to support the event, whether it's collecting some equipment, collecting some medical supplies that we can have to live on long after the day, long after St. Mark's Day. Our medical station is fully stocked. So we can have a big drive. We invite you to stand up. We have many nurses who work abroad, many nurses in Grenada. We have many medical professionals, sign up to, deliver virtually as well. It can be a short seminar. It can be something on emergency medicine. So don't think that you have to be putting your hands into your pocket all the time. Put your hands in your pocket as well. But really just giving of your time and your impact is more than enough. We'll also be doing the 35 for 35, the gift baskets. We'll be asking for support with that as well. So to our local business communities and to an international community, you can take the sponsoring of one basket, and that would go, a very long way. We'll be organizing and helping to assist with the visit to the Charles Memorial Home. Our elders always need, they always need equipment, they always need services, they always need food, they always need, toiletries, hygiene supplies. These are things that, we're starting early so that it's February now. By April, we should have everything that we need ready and available for distribution. Also, the gala, we're looking for trophies, we're looking for prizes. So there's a very long list, but it's a landmark celebration. And I want to say that we do this for all of us, but we also do this in the name of WELO, because this partnership, it has to be about, making sense about what happened last year and building on something with lasting community impact so his death would not be in vain. So, last of all, I invite you all to walk the journey with us as partners, as supporters, and as the champions we are in St. Mark. Thank you very much. I look forward to being part of all of the celebrations.
Thank you so much, Akima, for that presentation and your involvement together with the team out there in New York. We do appreciate. So we did introduce Mr. Bihari to give his remarks. He was cut short a bit, but now we can continue with him. Mr. Bihari?
Okay, great. So, great. Distinguished guests, partners, community leaders, members of the media, or many volunteers who are part of tonight's activities, my friends across Grenada, and I could never forget the team in the diaspora. I mean, it takes long nights. Sometimes after 12 at night, we are working together to find solutions for St. Mark's Organization for Development. I really want to thank the team up there, especially Charlene Wade Paul, Akima Paul Lambert, Mr. Gary Welch, and Chanel Patrick. These are persons that I'm telling you selflessly gives a lot to St. Mark's Organization for Development, even when at times I believe it is so late, because when it's 12 o'clock on my end, sometime for Akima is almost 4 or 5 in the morning, and we are all up trying to find solutions to make St. Mark's Festival what we really want it to be. I really want to start by saluting each and every one of them and the other members of the team who continue to exercise the kind of teamwork and team spirit that we're looking for. But as president of St. Mark's Organization for Development, for me, it's very humbling, and it is very a deep sense of emotion for me as an individual, because for me, St. Mark's is not just where I serve, but St. Mark is part of who I am. Many of you may not be aware that 90% of my families are from St. Mark. I grew up seeing the power of community, neighbors supporting neighbors, families supporting families, and volunteers giving up their time simply because they love the parish, St. Mark. But tonight I want to stand here because of that very same spirit. The spirit that I say is more or less one that actually embodies community and volunteerism. But before I go further, I must honor the giants whose shoulders that I stand upon. Our former presidents, executive members, volunteers, and community pioneers who carried St. Mark's Organization for Development through seasons of growth, challenges, and transformation. You were the ones who built something bigger than events. You built pride, and you built the opportunity that most of us are standing on. You built hope for the parish of St. Mark. To our past leaders, I say this from my heart. I am not here to replace your legacy. I am here to protect it. I'm here to strengthen it. And I'm here to grow even further on this journey of leading this organization. The St. Mark's Festival has always been more than just a celebration. It is a symbol of who we are as a parish and what we contribute to Grenada. It is where culture meets community. It is where sports builds discipline and unity. It is where families reconnect, young people discover their talents, and our visitors experience the warmth of St. Mark's people. This year, as we celebrate this historic milestone, we proudly present our theme, 35 years of sports, culture, and community connection. This theme tells our story. For 35 years, sports have brought friendly competition and discipline to our young people and adults alike. Culture has preserved our tradition, music, food, and artistic expression, and community connections have been the thread that ties our villages together, one parish at a time. Our vision moving forward is bold, but it is necessary. We want to elevate this festival beyond celebration. We want to expand its reach, we want to strengthen its structures, and we want to increase our impact in the community. We want this festival to not only unite St. Mark, but to attract national pride and international attention, promotion, and marketing. The benefits of this festival go far beyond entertainment. Economically, it supports our vendors, our performers, our small businesses, and our service providers. Socially, it builds our community bonds and creates space for families to gather. And culturally, it preserves our heritage and also reminds our young people that our traditions matter. But tonight, I want to share something deeper. Many years ago, long before committees and planning meetings, festivals in our parish were built by ordinary people doing extraordinary things. People donated materials, they cooked meals, shared their ideas, and they volunteered without expecting recognition. They did it because they believed St. Mark deserved something special. That's the same spirit we must live and look for again. Because the truth is, no committee, no president, no executive can build this festival alone. It belongs to every resident, every business, every village, every supporter of St. Mark. Tonight, I extend sincere appreciation to our sponsors that are on board thus far, and to all of our prospective sponsors and partners, government agencies, community organizations, and our volunteers who continue to invest in SMART. Your support allows us to turn ideas into reality and, of course, our dreams into experiences. I also extend a strong call to our national community and our diaspora family. St. Mark is your home. It's not just those who are living here that St. Mark's belongs to. It belongs to every single one. So we want to invite you to visit, book a ticket, to support, to invest, and to celebrate with us as we showcase the very best of our parish. As we prepare for the execution of this festival, I also want to speak honestly to our community. For this festival to succeed, we must cooperate with the procedures and safety measures that will be implemented. These guidelines are not meant to limit your enjoyment. They are meant to protect lives, preserve our reputation, and to ensure that every child, every parent, and every visitor can celebrate safely. We must build a stronger bond as a parish. We must restore the love, the respect, and the unity that define St. Mark. If we work together, we celebrate together, if we take responsibilities together, we will succeed together. I also want to personally invite our volunteers to come forward. If you believe in service, if you believe in St. Mark, if you believe in community, if you believe that St. Mark is your home, step out. We need you. This anniversary celebration requires all hands on deck. Your skills, your time, your ideas, and your energy can help make this one the most memorable festival in our history. Tonight, it marks more than just the launch of a calendar of activities. Tonight represents renewed hope, renewed partnership, renewed pride, and renewed commitment to the continued development of St. Mark. I want to say to you, this is our moment. Let us honor it by honoring the past. Let us celebrate our present, and let us build a future where St. Mark continues to shine as a parish of unity, creativity, and progress. I want to say to you, because when St. Mark stands together, we don't just host a festival. We create legacy, we strengthen community, and we prove that the power of our connection can build a parish, inspire a nation, and touch the world. I look forward to seeing every one of you attending each of our events for 2026 as we bring back the love in St. Mark. I thank you, especially to our online followers and all of the other persons who are following us in your homes, wherever you are. May God continue to bless you. May God continue to bless your family. And of course, may God continue to bless the parish of St. Mark. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bihari, for one, taking the bold step to do this. We do appreciate. And this is also where we come to the end of this, our media launch of the activities for St. Mark Festival 2026. I want to say special thank you to all our presenters, starting with Miss Julian Danel, who welcomed us all here. Then we had Mr. Livingston Nelson from the Cultural Foundation. We do appreciate you being here today with us, as it shows the parent body supporting this year's festival, and also will be there to assist us in that of the support that we would need from your end for this year's celebration, the execution of this year's celebration. I want to say thank you also to Mr. Shad Noel, the presentation on sports, what will be happening this year in sports and the background. Mr. Ronnie Lewis, culture, a true embodiment of culture. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. We look forward to this year's cultural presentations. Our fundraising committee, fundraising and logistics committee, Mr. Twain Straker, Mr. Straker and the team, thank you. I cannot forget Ms. Keita Pear for that gospel, what will be coming for the gospel show. That is expected to be another communion of everything spiritual for that event. Mrs. Akima Paul Lambert for she and the committee's contribution to resource mobilization. Ms. Charlene Wade Paul out there in the U.S. and the U.S. diaspora body. We do appreciate you being here with us this evening. And again, our president, thank you so much, Mr. Bihari, for choosing St. Mark. As you said, most of your family from St. Mark. I think it is safe to say that we have given him now a passport for St. Mark. So you can call yourself a part of us. Yes, you are now a part of us. Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone. And to people on the live, thank you so much for being here with us. And again, a call to action. As Akima said, it is our festival. It is St. Mark Festival. So we are all from here. This parish has given us a lot. Now it's our turn to bring it together again. We grew up in this community where we walk the street, we go to the beach, we just do what we do. We play football, we go to the pasture, we go to school. That is what we know. Everybody in the parish knows somebody else. Let us continue. Let's bring back that which we grew up in, that which shaped us and who has made us into who we are today. St. Mark, we are proud, and we will continue to do what we need to ensure that our parish stand tall. Yes? stand tall and well represented here in Grenada. So to all, thank you again. And remember, prepare yourself and look forward to a great 35 years celebrating St. Mark Festival. Thank you again to all. Thank you again.